Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys Game Collectibles. And today, well, we are looking at something that is very exciting. It's now quite old, very collectible, and becoming harder and harder to find, especially in this near mint condition. We are looking at the 1997 release by Kenner from their Star Wars The Power of the Force series of original trilogy action figures, action vehicles and playsets. And this particular item we're looking at today is of the electronic Imperial AT-AT Walker vehicle, which is all, as I say, from the original Star Wars trilogy. And as we know, the original trilogy, or classic trilogy, whatever you like to call it, were the first three films in the Star Wars franchise, which basically is an American soap opera. It was created by George Lucas, and it was produced by Lucasfilm and distributed by 20th Century Fox. And the first three movies consisted of Star Wars, which became renowned as A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi, I should say. Now, the original trilogy in chronological order serves as the second act of the 9 episodes of what has now become known as the Skywalker saga. It was followed by the prequel trilogy, which was filmed between released between 1999 and 2005, and then of course recently the sequel trilogy, which was between 2015 and 2019, and collectively now they're all referred to as the Skywalker saga. The first three films, though, were released originally in 1977, which was Star Wars in May 25th, 1977, followed by The Empire Strikes Back, which was May the 21st, 1980, and finally by The Empire Strikes Back on May the 25th, 1983. Now, the original trilogy was then digitally remastered with added footage and updated special effects sequences, and returned to the main screen cinemas in 1997. They released one film per month, I think it was. So you had Star Wars, then you had The Empire Strikes Back, and then you had The Return of the Jedi back on the big screen for the first time since their original release in 1977, 1980 and 1983 respectively. Incidentally, the original budget for all three of these movies was $76.5 million, which was a colossal amount of money back in the 1970s and 80s. But at the box office, these three films have taken to date $1.798 billion. So a huge, huge return for Lucasfilms on those movies. Anyway, let's not digress any further. This is the item in front of us, and this is the electronic Imperial AT-AT Walker, which is huge. And this is the front of the box, and it says, with real movie sounds, light up laser cannons, launching laser missiles. You've got the Kenner collection on the top right hand corner there, and it says, try me, 7 different real movie sounds and phrases. Well, we'll do that when we take it out, so we're going to need to put batteries in it. It's Star Wars Power of the Force, electronic Imperial AT-AT Walker, Galactic Empire, and it says exclusive, comes complete with AT-AT Commander and AT-AT Driver figures included. Ages 4 and up, includes 3 AA batteries, warning, choking hazard, small parts not for children, suitable for children under 3 years of age. It does say it includes 3 AA batteries, however, they have been removed, obviously, because this is now getting on for 30 years old, just under 28 years old, and it originally was a shop display model. It spent about 6 months of its life in a shop counter display, a Star Wars shop counter display, before being returned to the box and retired to the stock room for getting on for 25 years until we went in and bought out all their stock. So the model itself is in practically mint condition. It's never been sold, never been played with. It was only in a counter display, a glass counter display, for those months before, as I say, being returned to the box and returned to the retired to the stock room. Okay, that's the back of the box. Let's turn the front of the box. All right, let's turn the box around and have a look at the back of the box. Okay, so I've turned the box around, and this is what we've got. So again, you've got that Darth Vader head at the top there, and it says Star Wars: The Power of the Force, and there is that AT-AT walker, as you can see. It says articulated legs for great walking action. Command console activates 7 different movie sounds. Holographic image of Darth Vader. Image of power generator target. It says electronic AT-AT walker, and it says light up control panel. You've got AT-AT walking sound, snow speaker crash sound, size mounted lasers, and 4 movie phrases to light up images. Okay, and it says target rebel hideouts with powerful rotating laser missile launchers. Okay, so you've got missile launchers that go on the side of the head. It says operate winch for a rebel sneak attack, where you can hang your Luke Skywalker figure from. It says open the cockpit hatch to put the AT-AT commander and the AT-AT driver at the helm, and blast away with light up laser cannons and real movie sounds. Move the internally activated head up and down and side to side for awesome combat action. Wicked. Okay, so join the official Star Wars fan club, and you've got the details there. You got Kenner, copyright 1997, Hasbro Inc. Produced, all rights reserved, and so on. So by 1997, Hasbro had bought Kenner, but this was still going out under the Kenner name. So you got proof of purchase there with the barcode, and you've got the Imperial AT-AT Raider, which is a cut-out card that you could keep. Tells you the model. It's an Imperial all-terrain armoured transport walker. Affiliation is the Galactic Empire. Crew of 3. And then you've got height, length, and weapons. Okay. There is a little bit of damage to the box there, making it a little bit more difficult for me to read. But it looks like there's a stain of something. It doesn't appear to have gone through the box, but there is this stain on the outside of the box. Maybe it got a little bit damp when it was in storage. I'm guessing that's probably what's happened. Okay, let's drop the box down and see what's on the sides. Okay, so this is the bottom of the box, and it says Star Wars: The Power of the Force, Electronic Imperial AT-AT Walker, Galactic Empire, and you've got the Darth Vader face there as well. It says command console activates 7 different movie sounds plus a holographic image of Darth Vader. And again, there's an image of the model itself, and it says with real movie sounds, light up laser cannons, launching laser missiles, and 2 exclusive action figures. Okay, that's the bottom of the box. Let's have a look at the top. Okay, so the top of the box is exactly the same as the bottom, apart from the fact it says contents 1 vehicle, 2 exclusive figures, and 3 AA batteries. Star Wars: Power of the Force, Galactic Empire, Imperial AT-AT Walker, and the Darth Vader face there. And command console activates 7 different movie sounds plus a holographic image of Darth Vader. And with real movie sounds, light up laser cannons, launching laser missiles, and 2 exclusive action figures. Okay, I think that's enough of looking at the box. Let's open it up, let's take it out, and let's have a look at what we got inside. Okay, so I've removed the contents from the box, and as you can see, the legs are separate, the body is there, and there's other bits here. It does require some assembly, and I do need to put some batteries into it, because the batteries were taken out when it was put into storage. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assemble it all, put it all together, and let's have a look at it once it's all assembled and raring to go. Okay, when I've put the model together, it wasn't a lot you had to do. You had to put the legs on. Obviously, the figures I put inside the cockpit as well, and I've put the hatch door on and the side guns. I've also inserted batteries into the battery compartment, and this is how it looks. So it's standing there looking fantastic. Now, you get the instruction sheets here, and it says label application. Apply the labels using the numbers on the label sheet with this illustration as a guide. Now, the stickers haven't been put on. The stickers are still there in the bag, so they need to be applied whenever you would like to. And now the side guns, they've got those like pegs that you have to press the guns over and they expand as they pop on. So I haven't pushed them all the way home, but as you can see, I have put the two side guns on and affected the covers on them. So that's the side guns in position, although I've only got them resting on the pegs. I haven't pushed them all the way home because I won't be able to take them off again. I've also put the top onto the top of the cockpit on. And it's just two little pegs that are on each side that hold it on, and you can have it closed or you can have it opened if you want to see your two figures in there. We'll have a look at the figures in a moment. Okay, and of course the side door, I popped that on as well. Oops. So you can see that that's the side door panel there. I popped that on. We'll open that up in a moment. And then it tells you how to fix the legs into the slots there. Now each leg, slide each leg all the way onto the vehicle until it clicks and locks in place. Make sure the connector on the inside of the leg is in the correct position before attempting to slide the leg into place. Okay, so I haven't pushed them legs all the way home. I've only pushed them in so that they will come out. I did not want to lock them in so that I couldn't get them out again. So I've just stood them in position at the moment. And also then here we have on the other side of the instructions, it tells you how to operate. So you have a lever inside that will move the head up and down and from side to side. You've got the buttons on the torpedo launchers to fire the torpedoes. The hatch opens at the top and the bottom there, and you've got the grappling hook, which is what Luke Skywalker would hang from, and then it tells you the three buttons and the batteries, where the batteries go. Okay, so that is the instructions. So I've done all that. Now, as I say, also it comes with the stickers that haven't been applied, and you also get this little Kenner brochure book, which shows all their products that they did back at the time of the release of this model. So you've got Star Wars there in the center pages. There's a lot of Star Wars models and things, but there's also Jurassic Park, Beast Wars, Micro Universe, and so on. So there's lots of other toy lines that Kenner did back in the day. Okay, so let's close the hatch, that one. Let's open the front hatch, and we can see that we have the panel inside. Now if you look inside the back there, you can see that handle there. Now if I grab hold of that handle and put it backwards, well no I don't, I'll push it forwards I should say, you can see that the head goes up on the A18. If I move it from side to side, then the head swings. So you can go up, you can go down, you can go left and go right. So you move the head to however you want or where you're looking for. So the control of the head, very simple, is in the side, and it's very, very simple to operate. The buttons to fire the weapons, well, there's a little button on the there, and if I press the button, if I can get my fingers in there, I can't quite get my finger in there holding the camera. Let's do it using two hands. If I drop the camera down, let's fire the... Yep, it's in position. Oh, there we go. And I've knocked the gun off. So I'll just pop that back on. Actually, before I do that, let's have a better look at this cannon so you can see. So you can see the button there, which is a launch button. I'm just going to fire it against my hand. And there you can see it pops out, locks in, pops out when you press the button. And I've just dropped it again. Okay, I'm just going to reattach this back onto the AT-AT. Okay, so I've reattached the weapon back onto the AT-AT. I've only lightly pressed it on. I haven't pressed it all the way because I don't want to lock it on so I can't take it off. Okay, so inside the cockpit, we have this control panel, and it's got 3 buttons on there. So let's start with this end.
Target maximum firepower.
There we go. Try again.
Yes, Lord Vader. I've reached the main power generators. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your landing.
There we go. Lord Vader is on his way down.
All troops will debark for ground assault. Distance to power generators, 17.28. Target maximum firepower.
Okay, so that's that one. What's the middle button? Okay, so that's a weapons firing. Okay, so that is the sound of the attack walking. Now there's also more sounds with the guns. So if these guns move backwards and forwards, and you get the sound effects as they move backwards and forwards. Okay, and of course, if I just close that back up a second, you then got the grappling hook here, which is what Luke Skywalker will be standing on and swinging on his way up to the top. And to move him up, you just pull the other half down, and basically he would go up to the top. So there's the weight at the end there to hold him up or hold him down. Okay, it's a lovely looking model. Again, let's look from the front. And there we can see the top, and there, if I open that up, you can see you've got the 2 figures inside, the AT-AT commander and the AT-AT driver. Actually, let's take the figures out. Let's have a look at them, because these figures were only available, from what I can understand, in this particular, with this particular vehicle. So let's get him out. Let's get this one out. Okay, so that is your commander there. I'm just going to stand him up to make it easier. Stand him against the platforms, against the legs, because it makes it easier to hold him up. So there you can see the AT-AT driver. Again, is the usual size figure. Any of the figures, in actual fact, will fit into this vehicle, and usual articulation, which we'll have a look in a second. And again, the AT-AT commander. I don't want to blur him out too much, but that's the commander. And you do get a couple of weapons that come with them for these figures. This is the weapon for the driver, and there's also a little pistol for the commander. Okay, articulation wise, arms up and down, head moves slightly, waist moves side to side, legs go up and down. That's the articulation on the driver, and I think it's the same on the commander. So let's pop them back into the cockpit, which is where I will leave them when I put this back into the box. And then we can close the cockpit down or leave it up, whichever would be your preference. So there we are. There they are, sitting in the cockpit. And you can close it down or whatever you like. And of course, as I said, you control the nose cone by just pressing the lever, and it nods up and down, or moving it from side to side. So yeah, a pretty good, cool model, and I haven't assembled it correctly or fully, because I obviously I didn't want the hassle of not being able to get it apart when I come to put it back in the box. But overall, really nice model, quite sturdy. I haven't tried to make it walk, obviously, because I haven't put the legs in, had the legs click into position properly. But overall, it's a terrific model. Also comes with all the inner packaging as well, so it will be very neatly returned to the box with all the inner packaging before it's made available for sale. Okay, now you're going to ask me, how well did these models do back in 1997? Well, Star Wars became a huge phenomenon again back in 1997. Well, we all know it had been in 77 and the early 80s, right up to the mid 80s really. It was the biggest sci-fi franchise in the world. There was lots of copycat films being made, or lots of films being made sci-fi wise because of the success of Star Wars. And lots of those movies really piggybacked off the success of Star Wars. And as I say, right up until the mid 80s, it was really the most popular sci-fi movies ever made, until really Star Trek: The Next Generation was launched on network television, and then Star Trek seemed to overtake Star Wars as the most popular franchise, sci-fi franchise, until, of course, the announcement of the new prequel trilogy, which was about to go into production, and also the announcement of the 3 original films being returned to cinema, being digitally remastered, sound-wise, picture quality, extra special effects, and so on, being added to the movie, updated special effects, updated soundtracks, cut scenes being re-added back in, and the films going back onto the big screen. That catapulted Star Wars back into the limelight and became the largest franchise in the world again. Incidentally, one thing I forgot to mention, there is a few pegs in here which your figures can stand on. Each of your figure have got holes in their feet where they can stand on pegs, and there's a peg here for each of for 2 figures, I think. No, 3, 4, about 5 figures you can stand in the back there. I think there's about 5 pegs, 5 or 6 pegs maybe, that you can stand your figures on. So anyway, yeah, so Star Wars became the biggest franchise again, and along with that, Kenner decided to re-release or reproduce, let's say, all of the action figures, which were pretty much the same figures as they released originally, but they were updated, obviously better technology, better materials, and better articulation was available, so they were made better than they were from the original 77 release. But the figures, the vehicles also were made much better than they were on the original ones. All of them, the Falcon, the AT-ATs, all the vehicles that you see in that catalogue I showed you, were all updated to be much better. Electronics installed in them as well, even though some of the original ones had electronics, but much better electronics. Much modern technology was added to these to make them look as even better than they did in the 70s and 80s. Okay, let's move forward to 2025, which is where we are today. So we're moving forward 28 years since this particular model was released. Do they come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, you do see the occasional ones come up on the platform. Like this, pretty much mint condition in the original box. They do come up occasionally. More often than not, you see them loose. Some are working, some are not working, some are complete, some are missing pieces, and so on. So if you are looking on the platform, do be a bit careful, because somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition. There's a big scope of difference there, that you know, and you could order thinking you're going to get something that's almost new and find you get something that's not. So do be careful on the platforms, and also not to forget, some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions. So if you are looking at one of those, again, click the used link and see what it says, because if it doesn't show that new, you're not going to get new. You're going to get used, and the order will go to the cheapest used version that is available on the platform. So be careful, because you could end up with something you don't think you've ordered. You could have an argument with a vendor, and it could all be down to your fault because you didn't read what you was ordering. So do be very, very careful. Alternatively, you don't need to go for that rigmarole. You can come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles, where what you see on our website is exactly the item you will receive should you wish to order it. If we have different conditions, well, we have different product codes, different product items, different product numbers. So what you see is the item you get. If there's differences, it won't be that product number. It'll be a different product number, and you can't mix them up. And as of now, this particular item is available for sale. Now, this particular item, like I said, it was part of a shop find. It was a demonstration, not a demonstration item, sorry, a display model. It was in a Star Wars display counter that was put together by the shop owners during 1997 when the series, all these came back out. And there was a display in a counter that was all Star Wars, and it was displayed in that counter for about 6 months, I think they told me, before they removed everything, put them back in the boxes, and returned to the stock room. And that is where they stayed. They didn't do anything. They didn't sell them. They didn't offer them for sale. They were just sat in the storeroom as former display items and was never touched again. Until we come along, obviously, going into the stock room, well, for me, it was like going into Aladdin's cave, because the merchandise that was in there all went right away, all the way back to 1960. So there was some amazing finds that we found in that stock room. And of course, there was an awful lot of Star Wars merchandise, which was, some of it was former display items, some of it was stock that didn't sell at the time. So we got an awful lot of that merchandise, which we are making available to our customers on the Midas Touch website, which is exactly where this one is available. And you can get to the website very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight there, where you'll be able to find this and many, many other vintage Star Wars items, and many other vintage toys, games, and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Star Wars Imperial electronic AT-AT Walker with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.